Good morning, alligators. It is 11:01 a.m. on Saturday, March 4th, 2023. Switch over to another screen. Good morning, alligators. There, I do have audio confirmation. Get over to this other one and mute it. Oh, it's not live yet. That's interesting. One of my monitoring it's not live. Yeah, one of my monitoring tabs is live before the other one. Figure that out. The top of the screen, I'm showing drop frame 0 and my send numbers in the upper right corner because I still don't have high confidence in my internet connection. Although I've only had one bad day or period of time since they replaced my cable outside. I am not up to date in chat. The only thing that I read in chat was Ken Stout's message, and of course, according to him, that's the only one that really matters. Let's see. So, looking at chat, hello, Darren Gilholm. There's Ken Stout. There's the second person in chat. He says, number 8, please. He's referring to the topics in the description of this video. So, number 8, please, but only after the bottom of the hour. I will be driving as usual in the first 15 to 20 minutes. And hello, Greg Guy. Rick Lakes, he is headed to Holiday Gas. I should be back by the time you start in 27 minutes. Holiday Gas, that's in capitals. Is that the name of a gas station? Holiday Gas, what in the world? There's Darren again, Rick Lakes, Parker Morse, hello. Bobby Warren asking for topic number 6. I'll go switch over and see what topic number 6 actually is, because I don't have it memorized. He says topic number 6, exploring what else is happening during an internet speed test through Wireshark. Yes, and then Ken Stout's number 8 was Netflix wants to work with my channel. So those are the two requested so far. Back to chat room. Let's see, there's Bobby's number 6, and then Bobby Warren says hello to Ken and Parker and Rick and Greg and Darren, because everybody knows everybody around here. It's like cheers. Everybody knows your name. Rand Israel, hi everybody, wherever and whenever you are. Ida Rivera says hello to me and to everyone in chat. Jonathan saying hello to a bunch of peoples. Let's see. Ida says, let's see, where was it? Go back here. Says your last night's show was hilarious. I haven't caught that yet. I haven't watched any portion of Ken Stout Live from last night, so I got to go check that out. Jonathan saying hello to me. Aljaž Tepej, hello. Jonathan also asking for topic number 8. Tim Sal, hello to you. Mike Wojcik, hello. And Ida also votes for number 8. Jonathan Mike, Selden Ball, afternoon is 35 degrees Fahrenheit, overcast with remnants of snow on the ground. Ida, Doug, press the button, the green one. Let's see, everything is working all right now, isn't it? Green one, yeah, nobody's telling me things are going wrong. What was the green one? Oh, that was 11 a.m. That was before the show started, so I was 1 minute late because I was off heating up my water. I wasn't even in the room. Jonathan has 5 degrees Celsius. Dennis, hello to you. Adamant. I said it right that time. I started to say it wrong. Adamant IT ended their podcast just in time. Hello to Josh. Is that because he's watching he wanted to end in time to watch my show? I don't think so. I'm just a little tiny channel. Well, I'll tell you what though, that would be the thing to make my channel grow, is some other channels that have higher viewership would have some kind of a reference to my show at all. That's where a lot of you came from Carrie Holzman's channel. You know, thank you again, Carrie Holzman, of course. But if I can get some other channels to give a shout out to my channel, that would be a next spurt of growth, wouldn't it? Then continuing on here, the Bronc 9, hello to you. He says hello to everybody. Ran Israel, March 4th. We're having May 4th weather over here. Go figure. Of course, on May 4th, they always have the same weather year after year after year. And if you don't know what that weather is, just go search for his geographical area in March 4th, and you'll find that his weather is the same every May 4th. No, not May. I said, I'm reading, it says March, and I've been saying May. That's English as a second language, Doug, that was talking at that moment. Speedy C, hello to you. Tony Wallow with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Tony Wallow. Wow. Tom K, hello, Doug. What's going on with your tryhackme account? I dropped a clue to Tom K if he wanted to know about my frustration. Currently, I have frustration with tryhackme.com, and I told him you can ask me. So that is the question. That goes on to, let's see, what's going on with your tryhackme account. I'll take that over here to the live streaming area and come over here, reserve for fewer requests, and I'll paste that right in. What's going on with your tryhackme account, and save that. So that is officially on the list of topic requests for today. If you want to request that topic, then request that by the number that I just assigned to it. If you go into the description of this video, you should be able to see the current listing. If you don't see that one that I just did for tryhackme, you might need to refresh your web page by clicking that refresh arrow that's at the top of the screen. Come over here to this one, and then here, for in case anybody doesn't know, this refresh arrow up here in the upper left area. Oh, you can't see that because my stream performance is blocking that right now. So if I were to turn that off momentarily, now you can see that refresh arrow right up here. And then I'll go, oh, I just refreshed it myself. Did I want to do that? That means I just lost the highlight that shows where I am at. Turn the stream performance back on. I have drop frame 0 and come back over here to chat. Oh, I still have my highlight. Tony Wallow says AVDVR good. That was 2 minutes into the show. So gosh, I'm only caught up to chat that far. Good grief. Good gosh, Miss Molly. Good grief, Miss Molly. Good gosh, Miss Molly. However that goes. AVDVR good. Jonathan Wintermute, number 8. No, I don't think it's spam. No, not by my definition of spam. Greg M. on Amazon only pays for shipping on faulty or incorrect shipped items. People using Amazon.com seem to be able to return items at will without paying for return shipment is different in USA. Yes, I can do it at will, but I have Amazon Prime, which means I pay an annual fee for Amazon.Prime. I can return, no questions asked. So I don't know that that's the difference because, of course, I never try to return something without Amazon.Prime, Amazon Prime. Now, you can buy things on Amazon.com even if you have the Prime account and not get the same things because the item you have to be buying has to be listed as a Prime item. Not all items that I buy from Amazon.com qualify for the Amazon Prime features. So I always try to buy things that are listed as Amazon Prime. Jonathan finished changing a motherboard. People saying hello. Alan Spain, hello. Forgive me if I've missed some of the new names that show up. John Williams, 42 degrees in Madison. Aljaž Tepej, I will help as I can on topic 8, topic 6. Topic 8 is cool too. How many times have I misread things this morning? I just read this where it says topic 6 and I pronounce it as topic 8. I'm worried. I'm worried about me. Okay, here's Al Neo saying hello to everyone and to Doe. Good morning. Hello, Florida. Oh, William Dawson is from Florida today. How about that? Topics 5 and 8. I think that's a first time mention for topic 5. What was topic 5? Here's the right one to get to the topics. Topic 5 was Tech Tales eFileCabinet files missing globetrotting Mac client. That is a very quick answer, but that has been in the available topics for many weeks. I think that's the first request for topic 5. Danielle Emberly, and I think it's an interesting and worthwhile topic to give you, and it's a pretty quick one. Danielle Emberly, I was having trouble with the LibreOffice Calc aborting when scrolling. For those who don't know, LibreOffice Calc is an Excel lookalike. It's a spreadsheet. Aborting when scrolling. After a little research, I'm hoping resetting the profile to default has solved the problem. So we don't know if that's fixed yet for Danielle. Let us know, of course. And Mike Wojcik, to Greg, I've returned items to Amazon.ca, that's Canada, that weren't up to my expectations. Actually, nothing wrong with them with no charge. Let's see, kind of skipping through a little bit quicker here. I'm getting caught up here. I'm almost caught up. Greg M., I purchased items from Amazon.com and had to return it and had to pay $32 postage, including shipping. No warranty here for item. And was that using the Prime features? You have to have a Prime subscription. And it has to be an item that was qualified as Prime. I have had occasions where I have had to pay restocking fees when I purchased items that were not Amazon Prime, and I sent them back, and they wound up hitting me later with a restocking fee, and I was upset about that because I was not expecting it. People saying hellos to each other. Aljaž Tepej. Next week we can talk about internet connection types, xDSL versus DOCSIS versus fiber if you want to. Sure, Aljaž, but can you come in on Zoom and talk to us on audio at least? Because I'm not acquainted with the current offerings for either of those two, xDSL and DOCSIS. And I have fiber at some of my clients, but I don't have fiber. I don't feel inclined to go do a lot of research to become an expert on those topics. So if you're up to speed on that, I'd love for you to come in. Says, nope, I will be on, oh, no problem. It's not nope. NP, I was reading as nope. Again, that Doug is not reading things right. He says, no problem. I will be on Zoom. Great. Love to have you come in. He's saying next week on Saturday. Very good. And then let's see, talk about internet connection. So let's go take this. I'll copy that. Go back to the live stream studio and put that in for next week. So item number 4 is not this week. That'll be next week. Do this. Well, I could have probably typed that in faster than I did a copy and paste. And I'm going to say Allah. Let's see, come back here to grab his name, Aljaž Tepej. And maybe I'll be able to get a more correct pronunciation of his name. I think Aljaž Tepej is close, but it might be Aljaž Tepej. Or I think Aljaž, I think I got that part right. But we'll get any more correction on that then. So I'm going to save that. That's for next week. I'm getting close to opening up Zoom. Zoom is open right now, but the waiting room is on. So I'm about to go let people in from the waiting room if anyone's there. Greg M., I had Prime, but only on Amazon.ca for the return. Tim Sal's in the waiting room. And then, let's see here, Mike Wojcik. I think I have his pronunciation correct. If anyone ever wants to give me a correction for the pronunciation, I love to pronounce right. I think the item has to actually be sold by Amazon to qualify. I don't think being sold by a third party but shipped by Amazon count for the free return. And that could be. Now, I think I have been able to order things that were Amazon Prime but shipped from someone other than Amazon, and they do qualify for free shipping, I think. Brian Lightfoot says, light again. Greg M., this item was sold by Amazon on their .com site. So their .com site is the US site. All right, so that is caught up. Let's go bring Tim Sal and anyone else who might be in the waiting room, but I haven't received any other notifications. So then I go to participants, and Tim Sal's the only one here. Admitting Tim Sal and bring him on screen. Tim Sal, I hope that means you're ready to mute your YouTube audio, turn off the participants window, and there it is. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning.
Yeah, there he is. Hi, how are you today?
Wonderful.
All right, wonderful, Lawrence Welk. You got anything to bring to the topic list today, or
No,
comments
not
to start
really.
out with? Here to hang out. All right, well, we'll
Just
see
hanging out,
who comes in to join you.
enjoying the quiet right now. 144th is doing their training.
Oh, so they're flying over your head.
Started
Yeah.
yesterday. It's a 2-day event, some kind of drill practice.
144th, operating out of Fresno Air Terminal, has the Bulldog as their mascot, and they're currently flying F-15s, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the twin engine jets. When they used to fly F-16s. When they were getting switched over to the F-15s, another National Guard unit had to come in and run the active missions while they were in training, because they weren't allowed to fly their F-16s for their missions while they were training on their F-15s. So the National Guard unit that came in to cover for them was my nephew's unit from Duluth, Minnesota. And they flew their F-16s out to be able to fly the missions here. And I think they flew some of our F-16s that were maybe still on the base. I don't know if they were or not. But the funny coincidence is that the mascot for my nephew's Guard unit in Duluth, Minnesota was Bulldogs. Now, actually, I said this wrong. Fresno's mascot is not Bulldogs. Our college, Fresno State University, the mascot is Bulldogs. So they came in with their planes that some of them, I think, had the Bulldog on the tail. That was kind of a fun thing.
Yeah, we got the Falcons on our jets.
Yeah, there you go. I was wrong to say that they have the Bulldogs on the jets. They don't, but it's our Fresno State mascot is Bulldog. All right.
We got to go up on the catwalk too, remember, on the tower?
Yes, you and I went up on the catwalk while my nephew did some flights, low-level flights across the runway. And Tim and I were acquainted with people in the control tower because our activity here with the aviation industry. And so, yeah, they let us up on the catwalk for the control tower, and we took some videos of my nephew, and he did some rather unconventional and a little bit, maybe you're not supposed to do that, passes with I better stop talking about that. Come back here to the chat room. But that was fun. All right. So Brian says good morning to Colonel Sowell. And that is an informal nickname there. Tom K says $2, gives me a $2 super chat for making you work. Yeah, this is tough work here, isn't it? I guess we should get into topics. Should we go ahead and do the topic that Ken Stout asked for before he's back? Just to kind of rub at him, give him a hard time. What's your vote on that, Ken? Tim?
I would wait.
I'll wait. Oh, here's somebody else coming in. Is that somebody else chiming in? Yeah, Jim KJ in. Oh, I got to turn off the waiting room. All right, let's go turn off the waiting room so anybody else can just come in. And here he comes. Hello, Jim Knightons. KJ3N.
Norm.
Everybody knows your name. That's what you were. You're doing a spin-off on my comment about everybody knows your name. Norm from Cheers. I enjoyed that show. And that's a pretty accurate thing around with this community, among all the variety of YouTube channels that this community participates in. Jim, do you got anything to bring to the floor this morning?
No, just my normal sparkling and sarcastic wit.
There you go. Can't do a show without that. Thank you so much. Rick, Bobby, just wait. Need 3 minutes. Ken says 3 minutes. Just got home. Just wait a few. Well, let's get one of the other topics while we're waiting for, Ken. I'm going to go ahead and do that topic number 5, even though only one person requested it, because I just want to get that off of the list. Now, it's a TechTales eFileCabinet, which is a software program on one of my clients' computers that they use to manage all the documents for their various clients. And he called me one day and said his eCabinet files are all missing. And let's see, the Globetrotting map client, that's a different story, but is it? I don't even remember what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, that'll be quick too. So eFileCabinet, the client called me, and my comment here is it's a simple, not a complex solution. The reason why I said that is to remind me to include in the story that my client called me thinking, oh, I think we got to uninstall this whole eFileCabinet, reinstall it. It involves their tech support to reinstall it. It's not just end user installation, and their configuration is kind of complicated. I said, well, let me look at it a little bit. And what I found is that when you go into eFileCabinet, it says files not found in the folder. So I went to look up what folders it's supposed to be in and go look at that folder through File Explorer. And indeed, there's no files there. And I know in fact, the whole folder was missing. The folder was there, but it was empty. But I figured what happened is I think that folder mistakenly got moved to a different location, because it's very common when somebody is poking around in File Explorer that they'll do a little slip of the wrist. And I'm going to demonstrate here. Let's say I take this drag and update folder, and they're trying to double click on something, and their mouse moves just a slight little bit when they're dragging. They're not intending to drag. They're intending to do double click. To go into that folder, their mouse moves a little bit, and they're actually accomplishing a move operation. It just happens so quick and easy, and they don't even realize it because they're double clicking it. And before they realize it, the one folder is moved into another folder, and that's what happened. So I just dragged that folder back to where it belongs, and boom, instant solution to the problem. My client had already spent a few hours on his own trying to deal with the problem. So, and my client had like a 5-minute charge from me for fixing that. And that's where my clients learn, you know what, I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to fix it. Let's call Doug, because sometimes it's a quick, easy fix. And
you hope they learn that.
Yeah, you hope, and they don't. They do not, because I have times when I'll, oh boy. I can't look at Ken's. Oh, he's got his face right in the center of the clown. Hang on.
By accident. I didn't do it intentionally.
No, he's not on the face of the clown. He's on the mouth of the clown. I can still see the clown. Oh, he moves around a little bit, and it changes. And here comes Brian. Okay, I got to finish that. Story, because I'll have clients who they have had many times where they call me with a problem. Have you tried restarting your computer? No, I haven't. Do you think that might fix it? Yes, I think that might fix it. Let's restart the computer, and that fixes it. So do they learn it? No, they after long enough they will. And I had a client, a law office, early in his experience with me, where I'd have to say he was probably a struggling law office financially, and he just had these really bad reactions to my invoices. How much I was charging. Of course, he charges 2 or 3 times the hourly rate that I do to his clients. But so then he switched to somebody else who wasn't as good. He came back to me, and he came to realize that my rates are worth it. And sometimes the thing that we think is going to be an easy fix winds up being a more difficult fix. After they experience a lot of small charges from me to fix something that was a major problem to their office, then they get a whole lot easier to accept the times when it takes more time to fix something that we thought was going to be easy. But anyway, he switched away from me a couple times and came back and complained about my rates at the beginning. Right now, he's one of my most favorite clients. Easy, never complains about any of the charges, even though my rates have gone up over the years.
Hey, Doug.
Yes.
People who would do that to me, when they come back, it's a 5 to 10% increase.
I have done that. I don't think I did that with him. I've had different variations in my strategies because there was a period of time where I had 3 different rates for different clients, and that was just a nuisance to me. So over time, I got them all together, and now I'm at a state in my business where I'm not quite hand to mouth the way I was in the beginning, and I just, I'm not doing that. But I have had clients who have been, like I told a story about this particular client that got upset over a bill, refused to pay it. I refused to give them any further service. A year later, they came back and pleaded that I would take them on again. I said, well, you got to pay that bill, and then your new rate was going to be, I think it was, I don't know, $15 or $20 more per hour. And I've not had one complaint from them since. In fact, they've been very, very complimentary and appreciative just about every time I do any work with them.
Well, they learned their lesson. Some people don't.
Yeah, some people don't. And well, that attorney, it took him a few times before he learned the lesson. But also another factor is I think some of them, when they leave me, they start calling around and find that I'm one of the lower rates in the area, and that is by my choice. So where are we at? Let me go ahead and finish the second half of this one so I can get rid of it. Globetrotting Mac client. This is a client who lives half of the year in Amsterdam and half of the year in a town near Fresno up in the foothills. And it was a Mac computer that she has on both sides. And that was, she was about to come back to Fresno. She recently had acquired a second MacBook laptop, and she was asking if she needs to copy all of her data to a USB device to bring it back over here. And I went and checked on the records and make sure both of the computers were still synchronizing with her cloud storage. And I told her, no, you don't need to do that. And she just made a phone call from me from Amsterdam. I think it was a text message asking that. So it was a quick, simple answer. And I think that's what this has been in here for weeks. I think that's the issue that I was referring to there. So let's go ahead and move on. Ken Stout, what's your request? He left. He's gone.
Yeah, he's
Empty
he's
chair.
in another room probably. Yeah.
Number 8.
Number
That's changed.
8. As if I didn't know that. I was just going to get you to verbally request number 8.
Ocho.
Did anybody notice that I only added that to the list this morning? I think about an hour before the show starts. As a matter of fact, I just added that to the list, I think moments before Ken requested it. So I'm going to bring that up on screen. Netflix reached out to me this morning. And so we're going to, yeah, that was pretty surprising and amazing. So here's the actual email that Netflix sent to me. It says, Dear DougBetts at LiveWindowsTraining.com, it's nice to put a face to a name. We are the Netflix team. Your YouTube channel is perfect for promoting our brand, so we would like to work with you.
I'm laughing because I'm already looking at the email.
Yeah, you're ahead of me, aren't you?
Yo, come on, yeah. Let's make it a little more obvious, shall we?
Netflix is an entertainment company that streams movies and TV series. I didn't know that. Wow. It produces its own films and series. Oh, really? Including animated ones. What do you think of this offer? We make the following request to you. We ask you to do a promotional integration for Netflix in which you tell viewers in detail about Netflix, and be sure to leave a link to our official website. We will also give your personal account with a full subscription to promote our service. A little bit of grammar issue there, isn't there? We will also give you your personal account with a full subscription to promote our service. I guess that's all right. Are you interested in working with us? We look forward to discuss the details with you. We are confident that this is the start of a good partnership. Best regards. So in the chat room, tell me what you think about this. What are you seeing here of concern? And then we're going to let the Zoom session tell us what they think of this.
I already let the cat out of the bag.
You kind of did.
Yeah, I feel
Alex,
stupid. I said I'd love to do that. Doggone it.
yeah, you did. You fell for it, didn't you?
If memory serves correctly, and I could be wrong, but I think the .cz, I believe, is Czech Republic.
I think you're right. I did not look it up, but that was my presumption when I first looked at it. Now I haven't done any researching on this yet, but I do want for us to look through what can we research about a suspect email to check it out. Now this person didn't sign their name down here, but the name claims to be from Hans Donaldson or Hans Donaldson. And yeah, as Jim suggested, I think that would be Czech Republic. But what else do we see that's alarming in this email? I'm going to go bring chat up on another screen here while Zoom is showing up. Then I'll come back here to chat. And well, I got to say hello to Alex. Did I already say hello? I don't think I heard.
Hello,
his voice.
Doug.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
How are you today, Alex?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, we'll come back to updates from you later, okay? Let's stick with this for now. Then my last highlight here was from Rick Lakes. Robert is saying good morning, afternoon. Mike Wojcik, next time I order something, I'll make sure to read the return policy. Yeah, you can read the return policy for each item that you're ordering. That's a good idea. From Dennis, I just found out my old military aircraft E-3 Sentry is going to be replaced by 737 variant E-7A. Both have surveillance radars, and the USAF ordered the latter in April of last year. I was gonna pronounce that as April, because I pronounced the word ladder. I'm really worried about my pronunciations today. I use keyboard shortcuts to prevent issues. At least for me, it does. It must have been related to something I did. Seldom Ball, I've often used third-party app everything to find folders and files that I've accidentally dragged somewhere unexpected. It happens all too often. Again, you're good using third-party apps for your own stuff, but since I support my clients, I like to stay with the native included features and apps and utilities. Daniel Emberley, I find a heavier mouse. Logitech Master helps to minimize accidental movement of files. And there's also the time between double clicks that could help with that, I think. But then people have other troubles. I'm back. I will mail you after the live stream to connect me to your Zoom. Very good for next week. Mini PC, no, trying to catch up a little bit more. Joke me, LOL can. Let's joke can. Curious about number 8. Oops, forgot to sign. It's V Minor. Oops, forgot to sign. Oh, I guess he's been watching for a while and forgot to say hello. Forgot to sign in. Greg, I love the domain it was being sent from. Not Netflix. Was it Sexnam? Oh, Seznam. Seznam. Not Sex. Close, but no cigar. We are the Borg. Would you like to be assimilated? I would say no. The email address where it was sent from for one, email address of the sender. CZ is for Czech Republic. Hi, scammers using Netflix. Wonder how people will fall for it. Humans as a group are stupid. Thank you. I consider myself a human.
Wow. I just got a text message from Netflix saying my account's on hold and I don't have a Netflix account.
Yeah, it's amazing how that happens, isn't it?
Quick, short response to that. How many want to vote that they're expecting you to reply to that and follow it through, and then they are some kind of a scam?
That's okay. I got a text message on my phone a few days ago that was supposedly from my bank.
Yeah, and
that my account was restricted or some such nonsense like that. And I'm looking at the quote unquote address that's in the text message, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think so.
Right. It gets to a point where you don't even investigate it any further, right?
Nope.
Because it's so commonplace. Now, a question that I want to address before we're done with this subject is, why do they continue doing these so obviously bad scams?
Because humans as a group are stupid.
Yeah, and they want to. I guess we're going to answer this. We're going to respond to this now. Is that they want the ones who are gullible enough to fall for it. I think the scammers are smart enough to design these better, and I have some ideas about designing them better. But the problem with designing them better is it makes them more trackable, more traceable. So I'm thinking that they choose to stick with these ones that are not so clever because they're really wanting the most gullible out there. It's the low-hanging fruit. And enough of them are still falling for it that it's worthwhile to them.
Yes.
All they need is 1 out of 1,000 to respond to that. And when they send out 500,000 emails like that, they're in good shape.
Yeah.
Or they think people like all of us in Zoom will eventually let our guard down and forget about it.
Yeah.
But I haven't yet.
My research showed me that they are counting on people in the state of Arkansas to respond, and they don't have to.
There we go. Nailed it on the head. Hey, Brian, I don't think I said hello to you yet. Good morning. Good to see you. What does it say on your shirt?
That's the red sleeves are coming.
The red sleeves are coming.
That's New England Patriots.
I was gonna say, it looks
okay.
like a New England Patriot logo.
All right. And I think we're seeing it. Are we seeing it backwards?
No.
No, it reads right? Okay, because I can't, the image is too small for me to tell. Looks like it might be backwards. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. Yeah, are coming. All right, gotcha. Yeah, I'll point out a couple other things about this email. It's not, this part up here is not their design, of course. This part up here happened by virtue of Gmail. Gmail already identified this as spam and was not even going to let me see it. But it's telling me here this message was not sent to spam because of a filter you created. I've created a filter so that anything that is sent to the address of DougBetts at LiveWindowsTraining.com will get into my inbox. My primary inbox is my other email address, but I get so much junk there that it is automatically put over into the spam folder, unless it's, even if it's specifically addressed to my other address. But anything addressed to DougBetts at LiveWindowsTraining comes to my inbox. So I do see the scams and the spams that come for that. They're not that many at this point. But that's the only reason why this gray area is up here. Then Benji01 says, Nam, do we think that is an email address that actually belongs to the scammer? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that probably is a legitimate email address, maybe not for the name of Hans Donaldson, but possibly for the name of Hans Donaldson. I'm thinking that that's an email account that's compromised, that's been taken over by the scammer. And if I reply to it, the scammer's going to get the reply. The reply they might have put up a rule, a filter in that person's email account that automatically forwards the email to the scammer's actual email address, which wouldn't be their real name, of course, and prevents Benji from ever seeing it. I worked with a client this last week who had that exactly happen, where their email account had been hacked. Actually, it wasn't a client of mine. It was a friend of a client who their account was hacked, and my client told the friend to call me. And then I helped that person fix our email account and get everything unwrapped and fixed. But the way that it had been set up for them is reply emails were going to the victim's email account, but the scammer was deleting them, deleting the ones that were legitimate, that were actual responses to the scam. And the only emails that the victim was seeing was the rejected messages when emails were sent out by the scammer to addresses that didn't exist. And automated replies were coming back into the inbox. And that's what alerted the victim that there was a problem. But I'm suspecting that this is an account that has been hijacked, and then this email sent out to people who have YouTube accounts. Now, I'm thinking that it is possible that the scammer, I'm not sure about this. Let's see what your opinion is. That the scammer actually did pick up my address from my YouTube channel, because that address isn't out there in very many other exposed ways. I have created a few accounts on websites with that address, but not many. And it's nice to put a face to a name, so implying that they know that I put my face on my YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel is perfect for promoting our brand. So it's possible that they did searches in YouTube for tech-oriented channels, maybe?
Doug, I got the same thing. I have an address that I use for my dad's business website that I only have a couple of accounts set up for, mainly for website stuff. But I did put that address in my YouTube description, like in my my permanent YouTube description settings.
Yeah.
And I've gotten that same message before.
I suppose that brings up an idea that they could use some kind of browser extension that searches through YouTube channels looking for email addresses, and then just sends them out to all the email addresses that are found.
Probably, because that address has only been used to manage our website and just a couple of other accounts. Like I made a Zoom account with it because Ken removed me off of his Zoom with my normal Gmail, so I made a quick Zoom account with that email address to get back in.
Ken's face.
How are you blaming me for your computer issues? Again, here we go.
Well, now, if you use that address for Ken's Zoom, is it possible that Ken is the scammer?
No, I don't think for a minute Ken is the scammer, but I have noticed as far as the spam text messages go,
yeah,
my spam filter is generally really good. But I've noticed here recently it'll block phone calls, but I've noticed here recently I get a lot of spam text messages that get through it. So I have to have to go in there and I have to report it, and then it's blocked, but they still come up with, and when I get them, it's like really weird. It's like it comes from like really weird addresses, and it's the same stuff: Amazon, Netflix, stuff like that.
One of my thoughts about a way that the scammers could be more clever with this is, what if they were to create a domain name of Amazon marketing, or Amazon what's the other one, collaboration.com, something that looks more legit, because they can use the word Amazon as a subdomain, meaning Amazon and then the next part of the name is what is the actual registered domain, such as collabs with an S, some kind of variation, making a word that sounds like it could be legit. I have had some scams like that. I have had some scams that come from a domain name that look close enough at like what would be legit. And a matter of fact, one of them, Microsoft, and I talked about that on the channel before. It was actually a legit Microsoft domain, but the subdomain is a thing where anybody can make use of.
I suppose that is a reason why that is a reason why it is best to stay if you're trying to make a website to run a business or anything like that. If you're trying to make a legitimate website, it is best to stick with like a .com or .org or .net address, something that is most recognizable instead of using like .tech or .marketing or whatever.
Yeah, there's the .tech and the .tv, and I think there's one that looks like a YouTube letters. I'm not sure what that would, but anyway, they should raise suspicion flags, but yet they're kind of attractive to people to use too. Now, here's something I want to try. Here's the subject line: Netflix team brochure. What happens if I do a Google search on that? Do I find a lot
And they're
of people?
cheaper than .coms.
Yeah. Images for Netflix team brochure, team ideas, team product. Yeah, so I'm not seeing that subject line as being flagged as a hoax. If I say, is subject line, and put that in quotes, a scam. So phishing or suspicious emails claiming to be from Netflix, tips for identifying, reporting possible. It doesn't have subject brochure. So nope, not seeing it there, but sometimes I'll do a search on either the subject line or something else that seems really specific in the email. So how about this? It's nice to put a face to a name. We are the Netflix team. Is that something that is commonly put in there? So I'm going to take that part and put it right within those quotes. And no, it doesn't look like a real strong hit for that. But that's one of my techniques for finding it. And then let's try the email address.
While you're doing that,
Yeah.
I probably have mentioned this before, but I think I've got one that's a little bit better than the one you're currently dealing with.
Okay.
I got an email from somewhere. I've since deleted it. This was probably almost close to a year ago. I got an email with somebody about, we want to collaborate, promote your products, and promote our products, and blah, 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 blah. Well, I looked at the email address. I looked at the domain. I went looking for the domain. The domain doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Now, it may have existed at one point because it is search on, I can't remember the actual name. It was something.com. And I went looking for the name.
Yeah.
And the name apparently at some point did exist.
Were you looking for it as a website, or were you doing a domain registration search?
No, I was doing it as a website.
As a website, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I was searching for it as a website, and apparently at some point that domain or / website apparently existed at some point. It doesn't anymore. And I think the reply to address was something different as well. So it's like, yeah, okay, I don't think so.
All right.
My first thought would be maybe the person that registered that domain only registered it so they could send emails or whatever from it. They didn't actually put an actual website attached to it.
No, I went and looked for the name of the domain, like it's like a company name itself. I put that company name into Google, and that company did exist at some point.
All right. Well, let's go look at a couple things along those lines. So this says nam.cz. We'll start first just doing a searching for that to see if it directs to any website. That's all check stuff. And I think this is probably indicating that it is not a current website, maybe available or something like that. Or I can't tell from that. Says nam. This might be the actual website. Do you see anything here about changing language? These are the languages it looks like that I can select. no English there. But then if I go to, I'm trying to, I have a subscribed account to be able to look up domain information. I'm not remembering the name of that
Who
place
is?
now. Well, it has the who is feature, but no, that's not who I typically use, but that'll do it too. I need to get back to chat. I haven't been to chat for a long time. Who is will do it.
You're not thinking of MX Toolbox, are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Yes, I am. But here's just who is. And this is going to give similar information. So this gives us information about that domain registration. Do we see anything here of use? Zima Pavel, or Pavel Zima, is the person's name that is registered to. There's an address. So it's a registered domain name, and when was it registered? There's 206 to 2021. The last updated 2023, I think this is telling us. Here, registered 1996. That looks, that's probably the original registration. Okay, yeah, let me get back to chat because I haven't been to chat for a long time.
Most domains though come with at least mine does, who is privacy protection for free, so that you can only see the date the website was created and updated. You can't see anything else.
Yeah, this one didn't appear to have that. It could be an alias name that they had there, but there was a name. When you have that privacy thing, it indicates on that screen that it's private. Okay, let me catch up with chat here. Like Netflix needs more advertising because nobody knows about it. Yeah, they want to reach out to my channel because there's so many viewers on my channel that might not be aware of Netflix. Yeah, right. Dennis, I get occasionally emails talking about they want to collaborate with my YouTube channel. The last one was from the makers of DaVinci Resolve, and that probably came to you also from Ken Stout's channel. Dish Network texted me telling me my bill needs to be paid. I don't have Dish Network. Yeah, why do they use them? Because they work for the people that are gullible, and they don't try to make them better because they don't want to fool the people that are smarter. They want to get the low-hanging fruit, the ones that are really gullible, and it's working. That's constant emails from me, even phone calls. They have scammed a lot of people here. IRS just sent me a mail that I owe them 1.350. I guess that's 1,000. But I'm not a U.S. citizen. I say to them, come arrest me. I dare you, noobs. We'll give you like 100 emails of my inheritance from South America, Africa. God. Oh yeah, hey man, I did a lot of as a kid. I did a lot of mail order stuff, and I sent away for these self-addressed envelope return things, and I got lots of stuff from people from Africa wanting to send me money and stuff like that. And that was before the internet. LOL.
Are you trying to say that the email I got where I'm going to inherit, or not inherit, but I'm going to get $235 million from some attorney in Nigeria? Are you saying that one's false?
No. That one's legit. Brian, please do that. And the guy, I want for you to have that money.
And the attorney has a Gmail address. That's the funny part.
Oh yeah.
When I called cancel, when I legitimately called to cancel our Dish Network subscription, they did not give me any runaround or anything. I just said I want to cancel. They said okay, and that was it. They didn't send me to no retention department or anything, which I find kind of strange. I thought they would try to keep me, but they didn't.
Okay, going back to chat, please. Let me give the chat room some attention. Poor professor wrote a check for $235, but my bank thought it was for $23,500. They got an earful from me. It has since been corrected with a big apology. So that doesn't sound like a scam. This sounds like something that it really did. The bank thought it was for $23,500. It's been corrected. Wow. Did John have some other comment up here? That's a big deal. I think that was his first introduction to that subject. Ida, what I'm receiving a lot lately are emails saying another device in Russia accessed my Facebook or Microsoft account from bogus emails. It's annoying. Let's see, Jim to Ida, my email provider, AOL, if you can believe it, has excellent spam filters. It's rare for me to even see those things. Every so often I go back online and look at the spam filter. Jim, do you actually have an AOL email account?
No, it's not it's not an AOL email address.
Oh.
When the wife and I first got on, well, way back in the 90s, it was Bell Atlantic. When Bell Atlantic got merged into Verizon, our email address went from bellatlantic.net to verizon.net. Okay.
All right.
And Verizon's email servers that they had their customers on, I could say the S word. That's basically what they were. They had no filtering system at all, none, because my Thunderbird trash folder would fill up like you wouldn't believe. Because it's fairly smart in figuring that stuff out. Then at some point, Verizon bought AOL. And when they did that, a few years after that, then they decided, oh, we're going to take and discontinue our own email servers, and we're going to migrate everybody over to the AOL servers. The email address stayed the same. It was still Verizon.net, but the actual servers are provided by AOL, and AOL, believe it or not, has excellent spam filters on it.
Oh, all right. Yeah, and I did not know that. Okay, continuing on. Aljaž CZ also has free email like Google Gmail. Yeah, I kind of got that idea that might be what's going on there. Ida, AOL, oh my God, used CompuServe way back then. Thought that was long gone. Anyway, used Thunderbird with a Hotmail account. It blocked some, but not all of those emails. And I used CompuServe and AOL back in the day. And I do have a couple clients still with AOL email addresses. Jim, when Verizon stopped providing their own email service, yeah, that's what he just explained.
What I just explained.
Yeah. Moving on. The phishing attack. Second phrase was not in the subject line. Second phrase was not in the subject line. The second phrase this one was not in the subject line. But my point there is sometimes I'll do a search on text that is probably more unique or than the subject line. And sometimes that'll get me to the confirmation that it's a large scam going around. Which do I really care about? No, once I define it's a scam, I usually just ignore it and move on. But sometimes I go search and check a little bit deeper. Aljaž Tepej, my ISP, also send that warning email that scammers want username and password for email service. Those who reply with a username and password must send them mail on abuse. Now, it occurred to me along that comment reminds me that it occurred to me to respond to this and see what they're going to do. But the argument against that is that once you respond, even if you wind up, bailing out of it, sometimes, depending upon the scammer, that might put you on another list for a more skilled scammer to attack you because you are an email address that did respond. Just because you did respond, that puts you in a different category of potential victims, which could draw more attention to me. And I just not interested in going down that road. That's not what I want my YouTube channel to be about. Oh, on that subject, when I was thinking about this morning, Scammer Payback and the other YouTube channels that do things with scammers. If I had to do a YouTube channel on that, I would quit it. I just having to come up with entertaining comment time after time after time on scammers. It's like being a rock star. I would not want to be a rock star, singing the same songs over and over and over. That would just drive me nuts.
I prefer Jim Browning's content more than I do anybody when it comes to scammers content on YouTube.
Yeah, I do. I did too, and I say did too, and I'm actually still, I think I'm still a member of his channel, but I haven't watched one of his videos for a long time because I watched him long enough that it, frankly, kind of got tired of it. I still love him for the work that he's doing. I think it's valuable to the world at large, but I got tired of watching it and producing that content. How much time he has to spend interacting with scammers in order to come up with entertaining content and then editing those together. That would just kill me now if I had to do that.
Sad to say, I don't think any of them's gonna get much value from it at all, because simply because they're in India most of the time and we're in the US, and there's nothing the police can do about, as far as I'm aware.
Well, they have actually achieved some things. They've got videos of with going in with law enforcement and accomplishing some things, and they're raising the awareness among the political bodies all around the world. I think big picture, decade after decade, I think that work is useful. Not as useful as we'd like it to be. IDA had rules that help a lot with that, but had to move to Outlook 2010, which stopped working. Installed, moved everything to Thunderbird. No time to work with rules yet. Wintermute giving us, Wikipedia about sesnam.cz, telling us about it. Founded in 1996, Prague, Czech Republic, 6 million real users per month at the end of 2014. Most used search engine in Czech Republic. Founded by Ivo and began as the first internet Yellow Pages, so it has substantial background. So it sounds like that's like the AOL of Czech Republic. Okay, coming back to chat room. Thank you, Wintermute. The king of useful links. Jeff tied stuff as spam and Thunderbird doesn't mark it on the server, won't move to your spam server, junk mailbox. If you need to write off some of that, you need roughly $3,800. I think Ken's offering to do that for Brian, I guess. Hadn't heard anyone talk about the Nigerian link for a long time. Too many people knew about them. Nigerian scam email just about 1 week ago. And yeah, I haven't seen it through email for a long time. The client that contacted me this last week, not the client, but the friend of a client, I'll refer to as victim. The scam was sending out messages about her cancer condition and needing money for that. Well, she is actually a cancer survivor. And so it appeared that the scammer actually did some research into her email history, finding a plausible story. So the emails that they sent out were trying to get financial support related to her sufferings from cancer. So sad point there about how, was it a surprise that scammers are unethical in their scams?
To quote the Princess Bride, inconceivable.
Yeah.
It's so hard to know what if you see a call or something and you want to give money on GoFundMe or something.
Right.
It's so hard to figure out what's real and what's fake anymore. So as far as like the blue check mark or something, I know everybody's giving Facebook and Twitter a hard time about it because it's social media, but I think something like that for GoFundMe would make people feel better about donating if they can verify the identity of the.
Yeah, GoFundMe has some advantages to it, but it also has some disadvantages because I think there's a lot of people that set up GoFundMe accounts and have a story that they are pretty much a scammer. And how do you know if they are really telling a true and valid story? And then also, when I was in the aviation community, when we were building this hangar, and Tim Sal's perked up now because we're talking about something that we worked on together. We did pursue trying to get some charitable contributions towards our operation in the terms of providing free airplane flights to disadvantaged kids from disadvantaged communities. And I was contacted by fundraising entities, which I came to learn are same fundraising entities that do fundraising for Fireman's Fund and other legitimate charities, but they take such a huge cut of the money that they generate. And you talk to the charities about that, and they say, yeah, but it's still far more than we can raise on our own. The amount of money that the legitimate charity gets from the professional fundraisers, when the professional fundraisers are taking maybe 40%, 60%, and I know some of them even take more than that, the charities are getting more money than they're able to generate themselves because they're not skilled at raising those funds. So some of these legitimate appeals that you get for donations to legitimate charities, when they're operated by professional fundraising entities, you got to go. It's difficult to find the details about how much the professional entity is, how much of a cut they're taking.
Remember the one? I'll go ahead.
To find out how to give directly to the charity so that all of your money is going to the charity can be a little difficult, because sometimes those professional fundraising entities, I think, I haven't actually seen this or verified this. Maybe some people in the chat room or in Zoom can verify this, that they know this to be true. But I think they obligate the charity to redirect all offers of donations through the professional entity.
Even if you go directly to the charities, like their office or their wherever, and physically hand them cash?
Yeah. I think so. I think that may be the case. I have not verified it, so I don't want to be quoted out of context there, but I wouldn't be surprised that that's the case, because the charities desperately need money, and they have found that they can't get it through their own efforts. That was my exposure to that world. There's a particular, I think it's a religious entity that's out in front of my usual grocery store, and they can't even keep their uniforms clean. And they wear these uniforms that look like Salvation Army, give you the impression of Salvation Army. It is not Salvation Army. And I tried talking to one of them once, trying to figure out who they are and what they're about. And it was very, very, I walked away from there feeling like I needed to take a shower. Just, the guy came across as not being able to speak English. I think he was very fluent in English. I just think that's part of their scam. But they have a facility, they have a property near that grocery store. Yeah, I don't know. So, moving on. Jeff Tida, I should know that I'm accessing a remote server. I'm going to kind of start skipping through a little bit. UK, they're on regular TV. Everyone knew they were a scam. Email provider. Let's see, don't remember how I set it up in emergency. Cause Outlook stopped working all of a sudden. Nothing online, no power, internet, even the phones got affected after 30 minutes. That was conversation between them about the problem she was having with Outlook. Jeff to Jim, I need to convert to POP, but still have a few folders on my old email. Check my email, 5 different devices. Yeah, I used to use POP3. For those who don't know, POP3 email configuration downloads emails to your device. Now, if you delete them from your device, that does not delete them from your email server. So you have to delete the emails from each of the devices receiving the POP email. So when IMAP, I think, was my first transition, and came out so that I could delete an email from my device, and it would be deleted from all my other devices. I was in seventh heaven when I switched over to that.
Yeah, POP for me is the preferred.
Oh,
I've got 5 different devices. Here's my issue with IMAP. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that I've got 2 desktops. I've got 2 desktops, a laptop, an iPad, and an iPhone. Okay. Now, if I'm using IMAP, let's just say for the example, I get a bunch of emails in on my phone, and I'm like, yeah, I don't particularly care to be bothered with those, and I delete them. They're not spam. They're like from a mailing list or something like that. Okay. And I was like, I don't want to be bothered to read this on my phone. If I delete from the phone using IMAP, the rest of them don't know that those emails came in. If they don't sync at exactly the same time I'm doing all the rest of this stuff. I lost audio. Doug, I lost audio.
I can hear you, but I can't hear Doug.
No audio.
Yeah, Doug, we
Yeah,
lost
okay,
audio.
I'm back now.
All right.
Yeah, I muted a little while ago so I could clear my throat. Yes, and I have, so what you're describing there is if the email comes to your phone, you delete it from there before it's been downloaded to your other devices. Your other devices will never get that email. Yes.
Correct. And that's why IMAP for me is a nightmare. If I try to use that, no, that's a disaster. When I set up the email clients on the devices, well, not the iPhone and the iPad, because I don't know if you can set them or not, but like all of the other devices use Thunderbird. Thunderbird is set to delete things from the server after 30 days. So I have a 30-day window for all 5 devices to have access.
Yeah. But if you've deleted, you also have it set so that when you delete from your device, it deletes it from the server. If that's what's happening, then your other devices, if they didn't have your email software open at the time and they haven't downloaded it yet, then they never get it. If both devices have your email client open and active, the email comes to your cell phone, for instance, you delete it from there, that deletes it from your phone and from the server. But if it's already on your computer, then you still see it on your computer, correct? But you don't do that. You don't operate that way.
What you're describing, what you're describing to me is IMAP, and I don't use that. I use POP3, which means that when I delete something on the device, it doesn't delete it on the server. It stays there.
That's a configuration choice in POP3. You can choose to not have it deleted from the server.
Correct.
So my description was with that option set so that if you delete the email from your phone, it does delete it from the server. When it's configured that way, later when you go open your email software on your computer, that email will not come down because it has been deleted from the server if your phone was configured that way. You don't configure it that way. You delete it from your phone, it does not delete from the server. There's those variations of configurations. When we got to the point where my clients started wanting email on their phones and we had POP3 and I had to describe those choices to them, getting them to understand that was difficult.
Well, that's because they're normals, Doug.
Yes.
They're normals. I'm not normals, okay? I think we've established that.
Yeah, we have.
The reason why most of us probably use IMAP is because we get so much spam or so much junk in our emails that we don't want to have to go through every single device and delete every single same spam email.
My spam, when it was Verizon versus what I get AOL, my spam delivered to any device dropped by 99%. I'm not kidding. Because AOL at the server has spam filters.
Yeah. I have some clients who have spam filters on their email service provider where they periodically go back and check their spam folder on the server. They have to go to the website, log in, and look at it because sometimes there's false positives where emails that they actually need.
I've done that.
Get blocked. So I have one client who they do that on a regular basis, and I'm thinking, have they really saved themselves any time? If they're always going to look at that spam folder, why not just receive all the emails into their normal inbox if they're looking through them all anyway? But I think the reason is I think the reason why it's justifiable to them is because it keeps them out of their inbox. They don't have to delete the spam. So that's why they do. I just answered my own question.
I think Spectrum dropped POP3 protocol about a year or two. And when you go to their websites about setting up email clients,
Yeah.
all they show is IMAP.
Yeah, they don't even offer it anymore. Most of my clients with their business email accounts don't get a lot of spam because they're not using those email addresses to sign up for various different free things that we would sign up for on the internet. You know, they'll be.
I'm sorry. I'm with Greg. He just made a comment in the YouTube chat. He says it's easier to find a non-spam email in the spam folder.
Okay, yeah, that's probably true. That makes sense. When you're looking through a spam folder, the non-spam emails kind of jump out at you.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I do connect with that comment. But back on my clients with their business email addresses, they don't get much spam. So on their mobile devices, they do look at their emails, and when they delete it from their mobile device, they want that email to be deleted from their computer. Or they manage it from their mobile device, where they move it into a folder where they want to store it. Well, that has also been moved to that folder on their computer. Catching up with chat again. When to mute with the 3 question mark technique for getting my attention. I'm not sure that works very well, but IMAP is designed for different devices. All mail is on the server, reflected to the same to all devices. POP is for one master device. Well, actually, you could have multiple master devices. Your phone, and this is a technique that I did use for a while on my own, where on my phone, there were certain emails that I wanted to be able to go back to, but other emails that I only wanted available on my computer. So I would delete them from the phone and have it configured so that does not delete it from the server, so that on my computer, I would still get those emails and I could manage them on the way that I want on my computer. And I treated the purpose of my phone different than the purpose on my computer. So I considered both my phone and my computer to be a POP3 master device. Although the term master device isn't really the language that is used when configuring it, but it's a good thought. It's a good way to think of it. When you're not deleting email from one device phone before the other devices can sync. Yeah, and when I would typically leave my email client open on both devices. If you are deleting, why do you care? Let's see, that was in response to this. Oh yeah, the reason why I would care is because there are certain emails I wanted to interact with on my phone, but I wanted to keep the list of stuff that was in my inbox trimmed down. There were emails that had to do with interactions with my various accounts out there that I do care about. I want them long-term on my computer, but I don't want them long-term on my phone. It's all a matter of how a person interacts with their emails.
Right.
Since we're talking about email, let me bring up this strange situation. Now I know why it does this. I've been out of college for 2 years. This coming May. I can still access my college email that's signed in on my Gmail app on my phone, because it's a Gmail. They use Google Apps for education or whatever it's called, but they don't actually use a Gmail address, of course. I can still access that on my phone, but because they changed their authentication signing method to a single sign-on and make everybody sign in through Microsoft 365, and then it forwards back to Gmail or however they got it set up, I can no longer access anything to do with that college email account, whether that's YouTube or Gmail or anything on my computer. Oh man. I can still access the email portion on my phone because it's still signed in.
If you had to reconfigure your phone, would you not be able to sign in? I'm not sure I followed all that.
I know it's a little strange. I do not know, and I don't want to remove it unless something happens to my phone and my phone has to be reset for whatever reason.
Okay.
All I know is I'm still receiving emails to it on my phone, but I cannot access it whatsoever.
Okay,
on
so
my computer.
you can't. I got it. So you're being very careful to not lose that on your phone. Abby Normal, what is that? That's Ken, isn't it? Yeah. I know it's Ken because of the fish tank. What's Abby Normal? Why does the name Abby sound familiar? Is that something we came up with? We encountered today?
No, it's not. But I know where it's from. It's
Yeah.
it's a movie
Jim
reference,
knows,
Doug. It's a movie
Brian
reference.
knows, and Tim knows.
Is it a cultural reference that I don't get, or is it an insider's joke?
It's something from a movie.
Oh, from a
Jim
movie.
mentioned normals, and I mentioned something from a movie.
Oh,
It's something
okay.
only Ken would come up with.
Yeah. All right.
But the numbers are adding up, Alex. You
Could
might
be
as well
normal
pat on
Abby.
tonight saying hi, bye.
And this is something that any self-respecting Doug would not get. Okay, got it.
Well, probably not. It depends on if you're into Mel Brooks movies. I'll give you that hint.
Oh,
True.
probably not.
Okay.
Nope.
Marty Feldman?
Ken?
Yes.
Blucher.
Oh.
You don't know. All right.
Not
go
normal.
Ran Israel, only if you choose to leave the messages on the server, which is usually not the default setting in response to all that stuff that I was talking about. And that ran to Jim. That's exactly the point. If you delete from one device, it's removed from all devices. That's the point of IMAP. Delete in one place, it gets reflected on all devices. And in fact, with IMAP, you cannot select to leave it on the server. You delete it on one device, and it's going to be deleted from all your devices.
Yeah, and I interact with a couple of email lists and reflectors and whatever that I don't want to be bothered to have to deal with them on my phone, but when I get home, I want to interact with them. So that's the other reason. That's the reason why IMAP's a bad idea for me.
Oh, LonnDawg. Let's see. Ken asked for number 7. LonnDawg had asked. Where was that? I think it was in chat from yesterday, maybe towards the end, or maybe when I went back and read through chat, I saw his question: how do you turn on chat for Android cell phone? And that's a fairly quick response, I think.
That's easy.
Do you want to give the answer to him? No, because I see that happen on my iPhone too. If you tap on the Ken wants to give the answer. All right, go ahead.
Buy an iPhone.
There you go.
The answer is you click on the live chat click on the live chat button under the video, right beside the like and the dislike button.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the same for Android or iPhone. But sometimes I found it difficult to find the button for live chat. Sometimes I have to turn the phone vertical, turn it horizontal, change it to a larger size, smaller size, theater mode, not theater mode, until one of those links right under the video will say live chat. You touch that, and that'll bring the live chat back. Go ahead, Abby.
Yeah.
I find it's really hard to believe that you have difficulties finding buttons anywhere.
I find it hard to believe you would even mention something like that.
All right.
Yeah, I got it. That's a reference to my Stream Deck. But Alex, we didn't hear what you said at all. At least I didn't.
Did you find the green button?
I find it hard to believe Ken would even mention something like that.
Oh, all right. I didn't find that hard to believe at all. And then Tim, whatever you said, trying to say I didn't hear.
Did you find the green button?
The green button. No, there was something about pressing the green button. I have no idea what that was in reference to.
They were waiting on you to start the stream. They're like, press the green button.
Yeah. I did realize that was because that was at 7 o'clock straight up, and I actually didn't do it until 7:01. But the button for me to click, I don't think is a green button, so I don't know why they called it green.
We better watch out. Doug may be getting ready to hit the red button before too much longer and end the stream.
I had a funny thing on the Zoom session I do with my brothers on Friday evening. we were into at the end of we're typically 2 hours in length. What is this 2 hour thing with Doug? I don't know. But anyway, we had some conversation going right at the end, something about ending the stream, and so I just cut it off in mid-sentence. And then text messages went back and forth. They all got a kick out of that because it was kind of similar to what Abs does occasionally to Alex in bouncing him out of Zoom. In my case, I just ended the Zoom session.
I haven't figured out though why it only happens to me, nobody else.
You are somehow you are a prime victim in the
Ken.
Slide. Now, so Ken's got his hand raised. Go ahead, Abs.
I don't know what Alex's issue is, but every time he joins our Zoom, for some reason, he bounces in and out. Now, I have suggested he needs to look at his system and make sure he's got everything set just right. But him being a technician of 3.5 seconds, he just refuses to listen to me. So I don't know what it is.
More like at least 10 years. At least.
I think there's a new term coming into my mind. Maybe I'll call it Ken baiting, where Alex is baiting Ken. I think Alex brings it on intentionally.
I've got somebody on my side, Tony Wallow. He's on my side.
Is he on your side? Let's go see what he's saying about that. Let's see. I'm not seeing Tony in chat. Tony Wallow, number one.
I saw him earlier.
Well, yeah, he's in chat, but I was figuring that Alex was referring to something that he said recently in chat.
No, I'm not. I'm just.
All right. Tony's asking for topic number 1. Let's see what that is. Oh, reserved for fewer requests. Yeah, is that what he's referring to about number 1? I don't know. Maybe number 1 was a reference to something else.
Let's go back to my topic you said we would get back to.
Okay, sure. You know what? I realized I was talking about chat there and not showing the screen. Yeah, so we were going to look for updates for Alex. Is there any update on the job interview that you've been looking for?
Yes.
Right.
There is. I'll start from the beginning just so to clear things up. Guy calls me 2 weeks ago. He talks to me on the phone for 30 minutes. He's really interested in my technical abilities, knows I have the qualifications, all that. He asked me in that phone call if I would be interested in meeting up somewhere. I say yes, whatever. We go back and forth a little bit. I didn't hear from him for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks was this past Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember. I think it was Monday. I called, asked to talk to the front desk representative because I called the main business phone number. He says the guy's in a meeting. He'll call you back later that day. He doesn't call me back later that day. So I called back the next day, Tuesday. He transfers me to the manager that called me 2 weeks ago, and he says like, so we can meet up, like, we talk back and forth, and he says like we can meet up like Thursday at 11:30 to go eat or something. He calls me Wednesday afternoon, this past Wednesday, and says, so will Thursday at 11:30 work for you? Which is this coming Thursday now. So I basically have what I would consider my first ever second interview with at least one guy, possibly 2, the way he talks over lunch.
Okay, so you said your second interview, is it your first face-to-face interview? Or
it's what I'm considering my second interview, because I would consider the first phone call he gave me my first interview, since he ask me so many questions.
Okay. Have you previously had a face-to-face interview?
No.
Okay, so the one you're referring to as your first interview was not face-to-face. So this is your second interview, but it's also your first face-to-face interview.
With this particular company, yes.
Okay, that implies that you have had a face-to-face interview before.
Let me put it to you this way. It's my first ever second interview with any company, face-to-face over lunch.
Okay, I'm going to move on because yeah, I'm just going to move on.
Well, I know that's a little.
Yeah, but you haven't answered my actual question. You keep avoiding my actual question.
Okay.
You want to answer my actual question?
Yes.
Have you had a face-to-face interview before?
No, not with this company.
Who's on first?
I'm on second.
I don't know.
What's
Third
on
base.
second?
Who's on shortstop?
Oh man.
Yes, it's my first interview with this company. Okay, you still haven't answered my question, Alex. You don't even understand that you haven't answered my first question. My actual question. Stop qualifying it. Have you had a face-to-face interview before for a job with anybody?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's
this company. You've had a face-to-face interview.
All right. All right. Watch this. Watch this. Somebody's gonna like it. Somebody's gonna enjoy this. Wait.
Gonna mute us all.
Where is he? Oh,
Alex, it's a simple question. The guy's called you 3 times on the phone. Yes.
Yes.
You've not seen this guy's face.
No.
Oh.
Oh man.
I didn't see that coming.
Neither did
Oh,
I
think
I
Stevie
thought I was
Wonder
gonna
saw
get
that
kicked
coming.
Bad.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder saw that coming.
Okay. Let's see if is it going to be smiling though?
You can't see me. I actually laughed. I thought that was hilarious, by the way. But I was getting to a point that Alex is not. Alex doesn't know what this guy looks like, so he has not had an actual face-to-face real interview. He's had 3 phone calls, which is, I believe your question is, have you had a face-to-face interview? Am I understanding that correctly?
With anybody. I wasn't qualifying it as this person. I know.
Oh, just with anybody from
anybody.
The oh, okay.
And so his
answer is still no. He has not.
Well, that's different than his answer. He said yes, he has had a face-to-face with somebody else.
That's because he's practicing to be the mayor of Arkansas.
Oh, you're telling me I'm getting a politician-style answer. You never.
Oh, trust me, Alex could do very well in as a politician. He never really answers the question directly. It's got to go.
So, right. Alex, one last question. Have you met anyone from this company at all in person? You can go ahead and put me back in the waiting room. That's pretty cool, by the way.
No, I haven't. No.
I know the experience of the waiting room now. Cool. It's lonely. Don't put me there again.
Chris says, I was resting my allergies. About to get pollen so bad. Let's see. I guess Chris is just joining the party or speaking up. My nose was hurting because of allergies from Zavi Minor. But with IMAP, when you delete from the inbox, it will go to the recycle. And I know that in Gmail, it will stay there for 30 days. So IMAP, when you delete from the inbox, it will go to recycle. Or for me, it goes to deleted items, I think, or it's called trash. I don't remember what it's called.
Yes.
And
your
I know
emails in Gmail that are in your trash will stay there for 30 days.
All right.
I believe 365 does the same thing.
I don't know how long mine I guess I could go look at my trash folder and answer that. But I use the web interface for Gmail. I used to be Outlook, but not anymore. If I go to my trash folder, how old? I've got 839 in there. And if I go, it doesn't give me any way to click to the last page. So I'm clicking through the pages and see what the oldest one is. It's taken a while to get there because that's multiple pages. It's showing 100 emails per page. And here's the last page. And it's February 1st. So that's more than 30 days.
Barely.
Let's see, March 1st. Well, it's 60 days. It's over 60 days. Right?
No,
Am I
I'm
saying
sorry.
that
The
right?
oldest one is February.
Oh, no, February 1st. Oh, just barely over 30 days. You're right.
Okay.
All right. So 839 deleted emails in that time. Now let's go look. Let's see. Oh, social promotions. So I'll bring this up on the screen. I have primary, which is my primary inbox, and then promotions, and then social. So promotions would be spam, I guess, and then social, and then is there some other? Let's see. There's 4 in there for today from social, and then promotions, a dozen or so. Yeah, so I very rarely go look at these. I have filters for that. Anything for Live Windows Training comes to here, and anything that is a reply to comments on YouTube comes into my inbox. No, get back to chat. Too much spam emails. Oh, I had a client a while ago called complaining about how much spam that he gets. And I said, well, how much do you get? He said, oh, I get 3 or 4 a day.
I
So
get
you
way
have
more
your-
than that.
So you have your emails that go to your inbox that are sent to you via your Live Windows Training. They're forwarded to your Doug at DougBetts, whatever.
Yeah, anything sent to the DougBetts at Live Windows Training gets redirected to my inbox. And that's why we saw that one from the supposed Netflix person. And that's okay with me, which means anything scam or spam sent to DougBetts at Live Windows Training is going to get through to my inbox. And that's why I theoretically should not be using that email address to sign up for various different free accounts here and there. But I have violated that on occasion because it wasn't on the forefront of my mind. So, and I think I only realized that through this experience today.
I have an idea, Doug, something I've done occasionally.
Okay.
If you need to sign up for something and you think it's a bogus something, but you just want to test it out or get a one-time something from it, they've got these services like 10-minute mail you can just go to, and as long as you keep refreshing the page before 10 minutes is up, it will give you that like a temporary automatically generated email address that you can have it sign up for stuff that you may not want in your actual.
Well, it's actually things that I like the tryhackme.com, things that I do want to do continuing, but they're free, and I'm worried about what kind of spam I might be getting. So I don't really want an email that's going to go away. But the point that you're making is valid and would be useful to people in a certain situation. But I also have multiple other email addresses that are still valid that I can use that I should be using for these other various free services that I do want to keep the email address valid, but I don't want to see anything coming from them or from people that they might sell the address to. But I'm not very disciplined in picking which address that I'm going to use on those. Let's see. Get the Abby habit. Go out with a none. I think that must be in relation to Ken Stout's current name. No, not his current name. His former name. He has changed his name again. Hi, I'm from India. You mean Indiana?
I recognize that joke.
Yes, I do. So do I.
Oh, really? That's another social.
Doug, oh, really?
That's another current cultural reference I don't recognize, huh?
Everybody knows the shorthand for Indiana is Indy, not India.
Well, that's what you get when you call tech support.
Yeah.
Well, and the sad thing is the one that just spoke about, yes, Indy, INDY is short for Indiana, but the one who posted the video that joke is from doesn't even remember it. Ay, caramba.
That, are you saying that is a cultural reference from something I said in the past?
No, Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex. All right. Now, but I'll take issue with indie. In my mind, indie typically refers to an independent filmmaker.
Yeah, but that's INDIE. I thought you were going to say Indy. You were going to say Indiana Jones and the blah, 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 blah. Boy, I'm glad you didn't go there.
Part of the Indiana Jones, what was it, Crystal something or other movie was made down the road from me. Chandler Airport. Tim remembers that.
Well, they shut down the whole airport for it.
Yeah. And then there's only there was only one scene in the actual movie that was taken based upon, well, no, there were two. But one was when they showed the airplane flying and they showed a out the window scene and you could see an island. Their map showed that they were, I think it was in South America or Africa.
Somewhere around
one
there.
of those continents, and you could see an island sitting just off the shore. Well, that was the Morro Bay rock out here off the California coast, and they took the planes out from Chandler Airport and flew out there and got that video piece. Another piece that was in the movie was when they were inside the airplane and Shia LaBeouf there was a motorcycle in the plane, I think it was. And that was taken on the tarmac at Chandler Airport, where they had a big shade over this. I think they used a bus to be the fuselage of the airplane, and they had these big lights inside the covered canopy that they were using to simulate the sunlight. I think there was a fight scene inside.
There was a scene at the restaurant too. But you couldn't tell it was the restaurant.
Yeah. Okay. So that was fun for us out here. Back to chat. Press the red button. That might have been when I gave Ken the boot, right? 12:25. I think. Darren mentioned the green door. I know behind the green door is that the same. Abby Habit got it. That's the week you mentioned it earlier. That is for next week. He mentioned it earlier. Everyone have a good rest of the weekend. Stay well. I guess John's leaving us. Catch you later. Alligator, just thought of my second cousin twice removed. Alex, you never had a face-to-face interview with this company. This is your first face-to-face interview? Yes, with this company. We finally got that figured out. I would look at the company's webpage to get to know the people in charge before the interview. Yeah, it's going to be.
Yes, I have looked at the company's website and their Facebook page. But the thing is, I'm the owner. I'm not actually, as far as I know, I'm not actually going. The only guy I found an email address for and a Facebook page for is the actual owner, which I don't think I'm going to be meeting the actual owner. I only know that I'm going to be meeting the operations manager, which I do not have a personal phone number or a direct email for.
That would be a little creepy if you had an interview and you've got too much knowledge about these people. Let's see. Back here, I think you've got good preparation for this interview. I got rid of that Gmail toolbar. All the email winds up in the inbox unless it filters via label. Would look at YouTube interview question videos so you know the kind of questions I'll ask. I think he's probably okay with that already. Yeah, I imagine you probably did you do some practice interviews through college?
No, not really, but I've had enough actual face-to-face interviews with other companies that have gotten really pretty comfortable with the kind of interview questions they ask. But because this is going to be a more informal interview, since it's over lunch at a restaurant, I don't think it'll be that many actual interview questions. Since he's already basically asked me all the interview questions over the phone, he pretty much knows everything that I know as far as my qualifications and background and all that already. He just
back in my volunteer days, where I was volunteer with a bunch of different organizations, I did a lot of mock interviews where I was the interviewer, helping kids become comfortable with interviewing, and I would coach them and give them tips and stuff.
And also, Doug, at this point, this has a lot to do with it. At this point, I'm basically interviewing for a non-listed job because he knows I can't do the job that I originally applied for because it requires physical labor that I can't do. So he's basically giving me the interview to talk about other things that like remote work and whatever.
That is really encouraging in my mind, because you're not competing against other people for a job that they've advertised. They might even be creating a position to accommodate, and a lot of employers are very interested in being proactive for hiring persons with disabilities or other underserved employment communities. It's an important thing for them to be doing, and I think it's really encouraging.
I've never seen it before. All of the other companies that I've applied for, no matter how their size, no matter how big they are, once I tell them that if I apply for a certain job and it says you must be able to lift however many pounds or whatever it says, if I tell them that I'm disabled and use a wheelchair, they basically blow me off at that point and say, "We're sorry, but we can't do anything." And I explained all of that to this guy, and he said, "Well, he immediately said, I think I can figure out something for you."
Yeah, that's what sounds really encouraging to me. He's willing to try to figure out a way for you to fit. I have seen environments before where a company will actually figure out, draft, maybe even a new position to accommodate a person they want to hire. So I feel very encouraged about this interview. I'm hoping it goes well for you. All right, back to chat. Ida says, "Dress to kill, Alex, and you'll be fine. Rooting for you." What was it? The dog's name in one of the movies? Regarding something back there. Brian to Ida, "Don't tell Alex to dress to kill, otherwise he'll show up with a screen axe and machete."
His name is Jason.
Yeah.
Hey, Ada, I can already probably kill if I wanted to, because this big chair I'm sitting in is a metal death trap.
Yeah.
I can run over some people and hurt some people. I really want to with these metal foot plates that weigh 20 pounds apiece.
Yeah, you could. So here's Ida's calling
or you run
King
over
off
dog's
of
toys.
Especially he's meeting Jason. Oh my God. Now the person you're meeting with, is his name Jason?
Yes.
Oh wow. All right.
Yes.
I only know two things about this guy that I'm meeting. His first name is Jason, and he's the operations manager of this whole company. So he's very high up.
Now
Go
ahead.
It's a really small company that helps other small businesses with their IT, like a MSP, managed service provider.
All right. Does anybody find it noteworthy that Doug understood why the name Jason is at all significant to this? That's a cultural reference that normally any Doug would probably not get it, right?
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you.
I'm impressed that I got it. That's Wintermute, Friday the 13th movies. Now, actually, I was thinking about this just while Alex was finished up his talk there. Is if I admit that I know why the name Jason is significant to our recent conversation here about Dressed to Kill. But can I name any movie that came off of?
What, Dressed to Kill?
No, Jason. Why the name Jason has anything to do with the phrase Dressed to Kill? And coming with, let's see, what ski mask and machete. Why does that have anything to do with the name Jason? So yes, I got that. But could I tell you the name of any movie related to that? No, I could not until Wintermute's comment, Friday the 13th movies.
So I'm guessing if we threw the name Freddy Krueger out, you're lost there too?
No, I'm not lost, but I couldn't say the name of the movie. But I recognize the name Freddy Krueger and know that that's from scary movies. So, this is Doug being vulnerable, admitting to what I don't know, as if that's new. Jim DeCan, you're going to need more than $3,800. The price of the 4090 went up. I guess there's some conversation there about graphics cards.
It was a conversation we had last night. I think it was probably after the live stream, where Ken jokingly said, if I had 5K, how would you configure the system? And I did that, and it came out to about 3,800. Well, today the price on the graphics card went up $200.
Okay.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Got it.
Good thing I ordered all the parts last night then, huh?
Oh, so Brian, I think, is saying that Ken should start a GoFundMe for that, huh?
He's going to need it.
Lonnie Wallace says, poor Jason, we're picking on him. Friday the 13th. Alan Barsness, hello to you. Nightmare on Elm Street, one of the movie names. See, I recognize that is a movie name. That there's, at least I recognize it's a movie name. Because otherwise I might say Nightmare on Elm Street. What are you talking about? What are you trying to say here? I do know that's the name of the movie.
I remember that movie real well. Part of that was filmed in Greensboro, downtown.
Fun fact, there's actually a Freddy versus Jason movie. Hey, I'm caught up in chat.
And that was another thing we discussed a couple of Zoom nights ago, is this guy supposedly is going to have this guy named Jason supposedly going to have another guy come in with him. So what if the other guy's name is Freddy?
Then you are in deep caca.
Or Ken, or Alex. What's the chances that the other person's name is same as somebody in this community? Could be. Not going to be Speedy C, because that's not actually a name. I say that because Speedy C shows up in chat. I hope Alex get the opportunity to work in the tech field. Good luck, Alex.
And it's not going to be Wintermute either.
Yeah, Wintermute's not a person's name. That might be the new Jason buddy. Okay. Well, we got 1 hour and 53. Have I covered all the subjects that people had requested? I'm going back to look at the list of topics. Let's see. Yeah, Aljaž Tepej is saying he'll come in on Zoom next week, I think is what he said, to discuss that. And I did that one. Exploring what else is happening on the internet. Oh, this one was requested, but yeah, that's going to be a longer topic. So we're not going to do that today. Chat for Android cell phone, we did do that.
Oh, come on, Doug. Let's shoot for a 3 hour.
New.
And what's going on with my tryhackme? Oh, that was requested for today. I could say that because that's not a long thing. I do feel frustrated with the tryhackme at the moment because I've gone through many of their lessons. In the beginning, their lessons had a lot of using Linux and doing commands to actually hack into one of their victim computers that they had set up, and we're actually doing things. But since then, I've been going through lesson after lesson after lesson that's just text and questions and stuff that is not doing anything at all. And I think the thing that I need to do with them is they have links given once in a while to explore this topic further. Go to this room. They call them rooms. Then I haven't done that at all. And I think that's maybe where I have to go to actually do more hands-on stuff, because it's just text to read and matching tests and things that they actually have messed up. Here I got so frustrated on one of those that I made these lists. There's a comments on this note on this posted about task 5, task 6, task 7, task 8, task 9. I'm having to talk slower because I'm stumbling over my words. It says is useless and problems, and I go do Google searches for things that I'm not being able to come up with the right answer, and I find other people saying, yeah, it's just wrong. And on at least one of these, where you're supposed to put in the answer and then click the check answers button, whatever it is, there's one of them where they just said no response needed, just click here because it's broken. It doesn't work. There's these task after task after task was broken. They didn't work right. They were worded wrong. And it was just a frustrating waste of time. And so I'm thinking I need to explore on into their other rooms and just not care about getting their brownie points, their tchotchkes, where they say you have achieved this level and this level and this level. Well, all of those levels have been teaching me really nothing at all, nothing useful. It's like, remember your classes in high school. When am I ever going to use that? Well, in truth, those were more useful than some of this stuff that they're taking me through about their terminology that is just pointless. Now, Tom K., who's, I think, the one who asked for me to talk about that subject, is he referred me to another service that he's gotten involved in, and I created an account with them, and I was trying to look at something that they had in there and realized the link that he was giving me to. He was suggesting I come and try this with him. Well, I couldn't even get to that because I had to go through some other hoops in their system before I could even get to that. And I told him through email exchange that I'm frustrated with tryhackme.com right now. And so that's me responding to his question there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go pursue those other links that they have to try this room, try that room. If that doesn't give me the actual hands-on of what I want to be learning, then I might go pursue what the service that he's into now, or maybe just do some Google searches, because I think the thing that I really want to get into and learn at next is Nmap. I want to be able to take a small Linux box into my client's offices and use Nmap, or even through the internet. I want to check for open ports on computers. And I've had enough exposure to Nmap at this point to know that that's a tool that I need to learn. But this time that I've been spending on tryhackme.com is not getting me there.
Wouldn't it be more useful to check for open ports on the router? You can do that through a website for free. You don't.
Yeah, that would be another good thing for me to turn to. So yeah, I know there's websites that do that, and my time spent through tryhackme.com has not been getting me there. So Alex, you already know that. So, and I'm sure there's many others in this community that know that. So go ahead and tell me.
I've actually had similar problems with, or when I was taking networking classes, on my final exam, we would use a simulation tool for like programming routers and stuff. and the final exam, the simulation we would be doing for the final exam would be incorrect.
Okay. Do you not realize that I'm sitting here with pen and paper in front of me waiting for you to tell me the name of that website?
I think it's like Open Port Checker Tool or something like that.
I think it's like Port Open Checker Tool or something like that. Thank you.
And that's .org, by the way.
www.
Oh, wow. How am I'm way behind in chat. I didn't know. Oh, I bet this hasn't refreshed in a long time.
Well, you skipped up to chat to show us something Tom K had shown.
Oh, that's what I did. That's why I'm at the wrong place, because I skipped up there.
Steve Gibson, what is that?
The guitar.
Portchecker.co.
Steve Gibson is Security Now. Portchecker.co, and Steve Gibson has a way to do that too. Okay, so I got this. People in chat are giving me things. Wintermute, yeah, grc.com. That's Steve Gibson from Security Now. So he has a port checker, and I know that I've come across these before, but I just didn't have them tagged anywhere. Open port scan. Is he saying a website there? Oh, open port. No, William Dodson is saying open port scan. Well, that's what I want to do. What's the website? Is that an actual website name? No, apparently not. Okay, so yeah, both Wintermute and Greg M giving Steve Gibson. That's a good place for me to turn. I'm sure I can spend significant time there. Brian is giving
Steve's got his own channel.
His own channel? Not his own YouTube channel. He has Security Now, but
yeah, Security Now is what I meant.
Yeah, that's not his channel. He's the host.
He's just the host.
Yeah, well, he's the co-host. Leo Laporte is the host, and the channel belongs to Leo Laporte's organization.
Because it really doesn't matter what the firewall settings or what ports are open on the individual computers, because if it's all blocked on the router, it ain't going to get through anyway.
Right. So I am interested in ports that are open on the router, and I'm suspecting I don't have much open ports because we don't do any connections from outside of the office except through LogMeIn, and maybe there's one or two clients that use other products.
I can tell you this, on my router there are 0.
Yeah, that doesn't require open ports. So, and then I'm also interested in what other vulnerabilities can I check for on my client's computers through the internet? Is open ports the only thing? What other ways are possibly my client's computers vulnerable through the internet? That's what I want to be learning from tryhackme.com. It's not happening.
As far as I'm aware, the only way to get to your other computers through the internet is through open ports on your routers for like remote desktop and whatnot. So if you don't have any open ports on your router and all your computers are connected to your router and not connected directly to the internet, directly to your modem, then you wouldn't have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Now I'm thinking maybe there's other, like the way that the LastPass thing happened, a guy that had Plex server on a home computer that had a vulnerability that they were able to get into that, I believe, without any open ports on the router. So that's other form of vulnerability other than open ports that a hacker could get in.
But he probably had an account set up on Plex's website and had that software version of Plex linked to that account on the website, and they got into the website, and through the website they managed to attack his
yeah. And I think the hackers got hold of his Plex credentials and through a breach that Plex had. Now, they probably didn't get his credentials, but they got enough information that they were able to perhaps crack his credentials. There's substantial detail that LastPass gave about that. I can't speak to them from memory. I will make sure that I have caught everything in chat. Oh, I was caught up because there's here's the fun fact, Freddy versus Jason. So yeah, I did get that. Could it be Doug? In that case, fall asleep in the interview. Could it be Doug? What was William referring to there? I don't know. The dog's name in one of the movies. Is that what William was referring? Could it have been Doug?
No, he's referring to one of the guys that shows up, name being Doug.
One of the guys that shows up where?
At the interview for Alex.
Oh, the other person. Yeah, okay. Have used Steve Gibson's tool. Yeah, so I think I did tinker around with it a little bit, but I'd forgotten about it. So thank you for all these links. The thing is, if any of your client computers have software installed, it will allow ports to be open on the router, and the router will allow inbound traffic for that software. I don't think that software installed on a computer has the capability of opening ports on a router, because they would have to have administrator access to the router. Installing software on a computer if you have admin rights, can make configuration changes to your computer, but it's not going to be able to make configuration changes to the router. But that software installed on your computer can create a pipe, a communication protocol between your computer and the service. I'm seeing blinking on my screen.
This is not on the computer, but I can give you an example.
Okay, because I'm already interrupted.
When we had Dish Network, when I logged into the router, I noticed that the Dish Network receiver, the DVR box, had opened a port automatically by itself to communicate.
Okay.
So you could access the DVR from anywhere, I suppose.
Okay. It opened a port for its own purposes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how it did that, because it didn't have, my login for the... But
I've seen that before. Some companies have actually had to go in there and put filters on the line to keep other boxes accessing that DVR, which is interesting. Don't know how that works, but it does happen.
I'm not sure if I got distracted, Alex, while you were describing that, but weren't you saying that it was the owner of that box that their system made a change to it?
My Dish Network receiver, the DVR actually opened a port on our router at the time.
Oh, okay, but your Dish Network did not own your router.
No.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. How would they be able to do that if they didn't have the credentials for your router? That's interesting.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
probably the receiver just did it automatically, probably.
But that doesn't answer how the receiver would have the credentials for his router.
It doesn't have the credential. I think there's something called a UPnP on the router.
Yeah.
And I think if that's enabled, which it was, I think that's what may have caused it.
Maybe that being enabled would allow.
That stands for Universal Plug and Play.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Without us trying to explain UPnP, because I'm ready for this show to end.
I thought we were going 3 hours. I just went and got a drink.
Yeah, well, I might pull a Ken Stout and leave the session myself and let you guys continue without me. Because that works so well, doesn't it?
Actually,
no, Ken turned it off. He don't like it now.
What? I don't turn anything off. Oh my gosh.
You did. Now
you're now into Sundays going in the waiting room, by the way.
When I first join your Zoom now, it automatically goes to the waiting room. It doesn't automatically join anymore like it used to.
Oh, because I learned from watching DougBetts Windows training with DougBetts that's the smartest thing to do.
Okay. And on that note, I'll go back to chat. The thing that is, if any of your client computers have software installed, I already read that. if an outbound connection is made from a client computer, then inbound traffic will be allowed. Yes. So that's like with that Plex server. It didn't have to have open ports on the router, which would be exposed to the internet at large, but once the software on your client computer makes a connection to the server on the service, that creates what I'm calling a pipe or a connection, so that the bad guys can get in. The Plex exploit was years old, and Dev had Plex that was countless version old, so he wasn't keeping it up to date. Yeah. The weakest point are the clients themselves. If a client tempted to click on a malicious link that installs a backdoor, no router protection will help. Yes. So I know that checking for open ports is just one step. It's one piece of the puzzle. But I think my clients are going to not have open ports. And I want to confirm that step, then start looking at how can I check on the rest of the stuff. Screen is blinking there too. I'm still showing 0 dropped frames. This blinking I was referring to as my XSplit was blinking. So you guys are seeing that too.
Yeah, I'm seeing it over here. I'm checking my internet stuff also. I'll see no problems.
Well, if it's on my side, if I'm seeing on my side, I think that clears your side. It's not on your end. I think that might be my XSplit telling me that it's time to quit. Because my XSplit knows 2 hours.
That's not it. That's not it, because I've been seeing it. I've been watching the YouTube stream the whole time, and it's been doing it the whole time. Every time you go to chat, it's been.
Oh, all right. Only happening in chat, huh?
Yeah, only on chat, but more than normal.
Huh.
It's your computer, Doug. It's haunted.
Probably that Jason guy.
Well, yeah, we've been talking about it. It's kind of like a seance. It's making its presence known. If the router's UPnP function is enabled, the UPnP app can ask it to open a port. Yeah, universal plug and play. Yeah, I think that sounds likely. I disable UPnP on every router I configure, and perhaps that's something I need to be checking on my client's routers. Yeah, okay, caught up. Time to say goodbye. Coming back to Zoom. Asking you guys to say goodbye to the audience, please.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye to the audience.
Yeah.
Bye to the audience, please.
In the meantime, yeah. All right, just cut it off just as Ken was trying to make one last comment, because, yeah, that's a thing. I don't know. What do I say at the end of my videos typically? I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Should I do it? Should I do it? Catch you later. See you later, alligator. Goodbye.